Hi friends, I'm comparing Halo Infinite to Apex Legends lore today. Not so much the specific stories, but more how we learn and experience those stories. Don't worry, there is a reason I'm comparing these two, and you'll find out why a little later in the video. As you may know, Halo Infinite has a free-to-play multiplayer mode along with a single-player campaign. Over Christmas, I completed the Halo Infinite campaign, and I have to say, it was epic. The story was really interesting and fixed a lot of bad story points from Halo 5. In the war against the Banished, Master Chief is stranded near Zeta Halo during the events of Halo Infinite. Parts of this story sound kind of similar to Bangalore's story of the Outlands that recently came out. In Halo Infinite, Master Chief, with the help of a friendly AI known as the Weapon and an engineer known as Echo 216, he takes on the Banished to stop them rebuilding the nearby Halo installation and using it to destroy all the life in the galaxy, as well as stumbling onto and attempting to foil a plot to release an imprisoned alien species known as the Endless. Underpinning this is the mystery around Cortana, Master Chief's long-term partner, who up to Halo 4 was on the good side, and then Halo 5 kind of muddied the waters. This whole story unfolds over about 10 hours of core gameplay. What this single-player campaign does is build the world of Halo and brings everything in Halo Infinite, including multiplayer, to life more, because you get to experience the story firsthand rather than just watching some cinematic shorts. Plus, the story unfolds at your own pace. You're not waiting for events or stories from the Outlands to tell the bits of lore. Instead, you choose how quickly you learn the story by playing the missions in the campaign. Halo Infinite also does a really great job with the cutscenes. Essentially, these cutscenes are cinematic stories, much like we get stories from the Outlands in Apex Legends, and they play out through the campaign as you progress. If we compare this to Apex Legends, it's slightly different in terms of how we learn the lore. To be fair, in Apex Legends we do get quite a lot of lore, considering we don't have a campaign mode. The Season 5 quest is probably the closest thing we've had to a single player campaign. In Apex, we usually get our lore through a few different streams. The main lore comes from the stories from the Outlands, which you get at the start of a season, or also like we've just recently had for Bangalore, midway during the season, coming with an event. In addition to these stories from the Outlands, we get the comic series that typically comes out every season, or at least has been since Season 5, and then we've got other little bits of lore like lore skins that all come together to help build out the story and lore in Apex Legends. As you can see, the way we get lore in Apex Legends is very different to how you experience it in Halo Infinite. Of course, there are similarities between these two games in terms of the actual lore. For example, both are set in future universes where you have wars between planets and civilizations. But before you say the lore of Halo and Apex Legends are completely different, I agree with you. Like I said at the start of the video, I'm not trying to compare the similarities in the stories. Instead, I'm trying to think how Halo Infinite delivers the lore compared to Apex Legends, because I feel like Halo Infinite had a really good, conclusive and combined story that felt more like an experience of lore than you really get in Apex Legends. And I'm using Halo Infinite as an example of how a single player campaign can really add a layer of depth to the lore of a modern game, and it gives some inspiration to how a single player or even multiplayer campaign or story based experience can really enhance the lore within the game. And the reason I'm saying this is because I've seen so many people ask for campaigns or a single player story mode come to Apex Legends, much like the campaign of Titanfall 2, and I feel like Halo Infinite is a good example of how a campaign or story-based mode can really help build out the lore in the universe of the game, and it's evidence that if Apex Legends was to introduce a campaign, they really could benefit from this as much as Halo Infinite has. I can't really say which game has better lore. I think they're both equally exciting and interesting, and if you're a bit sad that you're not getting enough lore in Apex Legends, then definitely give Halo Infinite a go, because that campaign playthrough is awesome and the story is just so intense and so interesting. Who knows though, maybe we will get a story mode in Apex Legends, or perhaps they're saving it for Titanfall 3. I hope this was interesting. I just wanted to share my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.